What's up, everyone? I am Brett Q from MotoSport.com. I want to pass along some very wise words from one of the smartest people I've ever met, my mom. She always told me, Brett, if you can't be fast, look fast. I guess since most of us normal people will ever be even half as fast as Jet Lawrence, we better start looking fast pretty quick. MotoSport.com can help. Here at MotoSport.com, we're going to help you kickstart your riding season. And we're going to do it with this 2025 CRF 450 bike build. We all know the Hondas don't even have a kickstart, but we're going to ignore that part. Even if you're not planning to upgrade parts, we're going to make sure that your bike is ready to load up when the time comes. Before I go ride, I have a checklist of things that I go through to make sure my bike is ready to go, especially if it's the first ride of the year. Prepping for the season includes more than just the bike, but the gear too. We'll get to that later on. Air filters are a relatively inexpensive part and probably one of the most commonly overlooked things on the bike. Each time I ride, I take it out, hit it with some filter cleaner, oil it up, and it's ready to go. One thing you always want to make sure to do is look over the filter each time you take it out and make sure there's no rips or tears. Over time, the seams of the filter will start to come apart and leave a place for dirt to get sucked in. One thing that will help your filter last longer is not to wring it out whenever you wash it. Just give it a squeeze and let it hang dry fully before you oil it. We have a full selection of filters, oils, cleaners, everything you'll need from No-Toil, Twin Air, Bel-Ray, and more. Go check out the website, find what you're looking for. No matter whether you use Motorex, Bel-Ray, or Lucas Oil in your engine, keeping it fresh is the most important part. Kind of like my air filter, I make sure to change my engine oil and filter every ride. When you put the oil in, make sure to get your used oil completely drained and then put the exact amount back in that it says in your owner's manual. It's also easy to make a mistake installing your oil filter, so make sure to pay attention and get the parts back in exactly the way they came out. You can grab everything you need from oils to filters, both stainless and paper, as well as oil drain pans at MotoSport.com. You often hear pro riders talk about how their clutches slip. And what that means is when you ride in tight areas or you're abusing the clutch a lot, it gets hot and will glaze over, causing your clutch not to grab like it's supposed to. When that happens, your bike will start to feel like your clutch is pulled in when you're landing off a jump or under hard acceleration. When your bike starts to feel like it's notchy or chattering when you take off, that's when your clutch basket needs to be looked at. When it comes to a replacement system, even if it's just plates and springs, we have top brands such as Henson, as well as both traditional and automatic clutches from brands like Recluse. Make sure to check your owner's manual for a recommended time frame when it comes to replacing everything in your motor from top to bottom, pistons to cranks. You may be able to get away with running a part for longer than your manual says, but if it goes, it's likely to cause more damage than necessary along the way. No matter what you're looking for, check out the full selection of ProX parts on the site. The way you set up your bars and controls have a big effect on the way you ride, and even your technique, but we'll go over that later on. Right now, we're just going to go over some different products and figure out which ones are right for you. Each handlebar has different characteristics, but like most controls, a lot of it's personal preference. From the Renthal twin wall design to the ODI CFT bars, what it really boils down to is comfort and cutting down as much vibration as possible without sacrificing strength. We also have different styles of bars, both with and without a crossbar. While a lot of people think the crossbar style is just for looks, there's actually more to it. The crossbar may increase stability, but there's also a chance that you'll add rigidity that you'll notice in your upper body. A lot like handlebars, grips are mostly personal preference. We've got brands like ODI, Renthal, Pro Taper, and more. If you're looking for a half waffle, full waffle, lock on, glue on, no matter what direction you decide with bars and grips, you can bet we have it at Motosport. There isn't much that makes a day worse than having to leave the track early because you tipped over and broke a lever. These folding levers from Turner will help you cut down those chances by hinging instead of bending or breaking when your bike hits the dirt. If your clutch is a cable style, products like this Works Connection Perch has an easy adjust for the cable and a ball bearing lever to make life a little easier. While you're at it, it may be time to replace those cables to help keep your clutch and throttle smooth. We have plenty of aftermarket cable options as well as a full selection of OEM. There's a lot riding on your wheels, and trusting them is important. While strength and durability are a big deal, maintenance is also key. You have to be sure to keep up with the spokes and tighten them at proper torque. I make sure to check my spokes between every ride with the HP Tools Spoke Torque Wrench. We've got everything you need to build your own set of wheels, from Excel rims and spokes to a truing stand from Bike Master. The tires you pick are just as important as the wheels. No matter whether it's a Dunlop MX-14, a Michelin Starcross 6, maybe even an R-Trax. The goal is to go out and get the whole shot, make your buddies use all their tear-offs, maybe throw some roost on a little bit. We got all kinds of different compounds and tread patterns for every condition. When it comes to tubes, we have a few different options to choose from. We've got standard thickness as well as heavy duty, both from companies like Moose, IRC, Sedona, and more. Something a lot of pros race outdoors with is a Moose tube, which is basically a foam ring that goes in the place of a typical rubber style tube. Another option is buying a set of Moose balls. I know that's something that doesn't really sound like it should go in your tire, but trust me on this one. With these, you're basically running a Moose tube cut in 20 to 25 pieces, so you can add or remove based on the feel you're looking for. When it comes to chains, sprockets, and brakes, they're often overlooked, but there's a lot of moving parts down there and they wear out a lot faster than you might expect. There are a lot of different options when it comes to choosing a sprocket for your bike. If you're looking for something that's long lasting and don't mind it being a little bit heavier, you'll probably want to get a steel sprocket. If you're looking for something lighter but may wear out a little bit faster, aluminum is the way to go. But if you want something that's the best of both worlds, aluminum inside, steel outside for the durability on this Renthal twin ring sprocket. We've also got this Dirt Trick sprocket, which is made out of zirconium, and it's a couple ounces lighter even than the aluminum, and it also lasts more like a steel sprocket. A quality chain is very important. O-rings are a longer lasting, more durable option, while a non-O-ring like this one from DID is more of a racing style chain. There's also an X-ring, which is meant to be a blend of both. I'm going to show you the difference between a new chain and an old chain. And the old chain doesn't even have very many hours on it. But look at all the play between the links on the old chain. They're both laying the same way, bent to the max, and the old one goes that much further. Next time you get a new chain, try this. I'm sure you'll be glad you got it. No matter what, whenever you replace one, you need to replace the other. If you replace a chain without the sprockets, it'll wear out the new chain faster than it should. We have all-in-one kits from Renthal, Turner, and Sunstar on the site. Other parts that are often overlooked are the slider and chain block. If you let one of those things wear too thin, it can cause your chain to wear out faster or to break. Companies like Acerbis and TM Design Works have a more durable, hard plastic option. When it comes to brakes, make sure to keep an eye on your brake pads and replace them well before it's metal on metal. When they get well used, they'll have a heat glaze and they won't grip as well. Also, watch the rotors to make sure they don't get bent or worn too thin. It's also a good idea to bleed your brakes from time to time. I know bleeding brakes is no fun, but the HP Tools Air Brake Bleeder makes it a breeze. Remember when I said if you can't be fast, look fast? We've got all sorts of plastic and graphics on the site that'll help you do just that. From Acerbis, UFO, Cycra, and more. All with different colors and designs to help improve your weight or ventilation. While you're at it, pick out a set of your favorite graphics on the site from companies like Factory Effects to not only look good, but keep that new plastic from getting all scratched up. There's a lot of different options when it comes to looking for an exhaust. We've got Yoshimura, Pro Circuit, FMF, and more, and each one adds power in a different place. For 4-stroke exhausts, we have stainless steel and titanium. Stainless steel may be a little bit heavier, but a little bit less expensive. The titanium is a little lighter, but a little more expensive. As far as 2-stroke exhausts, we've got nickel plated or a raw finish for that factory look. Another thing you want to think about whenever you're buying a new exhaust is keeping up with the packing. You can buy a repacking kit for cheap and it's well worth it. If not, your exhaust is going to get pretty hot and it is not going to last long. When it comes to chemicals, it's all about the brands you trust, and we've got a lot of them. Everything you need from oil to chain lube, bike wash to hand cleaner, we got you covered. While we're talking oils, don't forget to keep up with your suspension. It's easy to forget, out of sight, out of mind, but with each bump or jump that you hit, you want the best suspension possible. Having fresh oils will also increase the longevity of the parts. When it does come time to replace what's inside, we have plenty of parts for that, from Pro X, Bike Master, and OEM Parts. Even worse than not changing the oil, no oil at all. If you got a leaky fork seal, don't ignore it. Fix it. Speaking of OEM, we have a full range of stock parts for every bike. There are certain things you might break or wear out that aftermarket company just doesn't make. When that time comes, check out the microfiche and see what you need. We also have a full selection of bolts and hardwares that are awesome to have around from companies like Turner and Bolt. Along the way, you're going to need quality and sometimes even specialty tools like crankcase splitters to help you complete the job. We've also got the Slacker sag setting tool that helps turn that from a two-person job into one. No matter what you're looking for, you can find it at MotoSport. Now it's time to get to work and build this 2025 CRF 450 from Storm Lake Honda. Zach from 734 Blasting got my frame Cerakoted, got my swing arm, even got my brake caliper and brake pedal and radiators all done. Old man Rainer got my suspension all ready, but we got a lot more to do. I need help from you guys. We need to hear what all parts I need to put on this thing. Comment below and let me know what you'd like to see. Also make sure to like this video, subscribe to the page, and turn on your notifications so you can make sure not to miss a video. Then follow us on social, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, @MotoSport Inc. Thanks for watching.